more than anything, I'm really happy that you guys are doing this. I think that, I feel like, imagine how, it's the music industry is going in this direction now, but imagine if it's now like combined with financially aware artists.
Yeah, and support from the banks. I mean, we can actually put this country more on the map.
You have stronger careers.
So just tell me, what do you think when what finance comes to your head?
It's something that is, I'm happy to be here. The reason why is because, I never thought that I'd be an artist that's earning off his music, and it's such an amazing feeling. And then now when you start to earn off your music, you have to start thinking about finances, thinking about money. I'm careful. I don't really do too much with my money.
You please say.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even really overly spend on myself. I kind of, it's kind of family first when it comes to that sort of thing. So I'm kind of careful, but at the same time, I want to change that this year, because not like I want to go and just be flexing anyhow, but it's more like it's safety. There's reward and risk.
Yeah.
So I
want to finance. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. Like, they go hand in hand.
That's why I'm on the show. I'm trying to find out from you. So like, to me, I know I played it safe. So this year I want to see the things I can get myself into, educate myself more.
So here's something I want to know, and I'm sure all our listeners and viewers today would also want to know as well. What's that one personal experience you've had regarding finance that has really, stuck with you throughout your career?
That stuck with me. You can work hard and be cheated out of your money. You can lose what you worked hard for. We're so focused on the blessing and wanting to achieve and wanting to earn. You don't even envision the idea of getting to the threshold, and then something now happens because you lose guarded that takes it from you. Like, I've been conned out of money before. Yes, I have, and it was not a nice feeling. Wow. And it really toughened my skin. Yeah. Let me know that I need to protect myself. I need to get more on guard. Made me more on guard. Made me want to surround myself with financially savvy people.
And the right people as well.
The right people. I need people who think about not just the brand, but how to keep my finances where they need to be. It really scared me and opened my eyes. So yes, now.
Care to share?
It's chilly. I've been conned out of money before by somebody that was close to me and someone I trusted to carry out a transaction for me. We talked about a certain move that I wanted to make and they wanted to make, and they kind of brought to the table, and they took that money and didn't do that with it. And then also, because of their role in my life and
proximity,
but also because of there was kind of like an authority that they had over me, because the person seniors me.
Oh, okay, I know.
It was difficult for me to push hard out and push hard, and to that really that's it changed my perspective. Really broke me at that time.
And did that help also think of, okay, I need to start thinking of other ways of investing?
It let me know immediately that first and foremost that I need to become more financially savvy, and that I need to surround myself with people that know, and then ask questions on every single investment, not take somebody's word for it.
So speaking about being financially savvy, there's Ladipoe, the music artist. But we're hearing gist that...
What gist are you hearing?
We're delving into the movie industry. So what's that about?
How do you hear? I've never been asked this in that anyways.
What's on the street?
What's on the streets? Yes.
Yeah?
I'll first speak about the fact that it's been something that I've been kind of interested in for a while, but loosely. From a distance, I like film. I watch it, and I've been asked to reach out for some roles, but I've always turned them down. But
why?
I mean, for me, it's about the right story. I love what I do with my art, my music, but I'm careful.
What you associate with.
Exactly.
It wasn't because you thought it would distract you from your music.
Yes. So if it's good, if I'm going to do it, it has to be something that's really calling me to do it. But to touch on what you said, yes, something that I think is really important for an artist to diversify, to have. You never just diversify for the sake of diversification. It is to realize and become aware of the breadth of your creativity and see how you can maximize different aspects of it.
You know, even in finance, like you have to diversify. That's like one of the major things in finance. You can't put, all your eggs
In one basket. Yes, exactly.
As an artist, you are an asset as well. So
that is something that you slowly start to realize, because of course you come in, you're so hyper focused on your original goal. And now that I've started to establish myself, I'm starting to see other avenues that I think I can really apply myself at a high level and have an impact, and beyond, music, film, merchandise, clothing, things that I'm interested in. I want to tap into the entirety of Ladipoe's creativity, maximize it, and hopefully, Lord willing, get paid for it.
Yeah, I think it will.
I think so. Yeah. Amen to that.
Delving into the movie industry, you were just saying that you need 2 days off to sleep.
Yeah.
Imagine putting in that work, that energy, and that time, and you're missing out on some family time, and then after all, you wake up one day and you
this work. And because of why? Why? Because of poor financial decisions, or because of being lackadaisical, and not like, one of the things that I want to do now is actually start speaking to a financial advisor, and because I always tend to get this feeling, and then I'm sure it's something that a lot of people do as well. You say, I've not made enough to call this person or to talk to this person or get advice, but I think that my thinking is starting to change. I don't think you need to worry about that. And start the conversations now, that kind of thing. So,
You'd be surprised, even if you had a friend in the bank, you could just I have friends that start a conversation and like, okay, what's this about? Like, you don't really have much, but they start somewhere.
Yeah, my friend in the bank, man.
I know.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, so definitely like free advice. So it's never right, because I started working in treasury as well, 5 years now, and I've never done an investment.
You personally have not done an investment?
It's crazy. Why? It's crazy because I always had that notion that, I haven't had enough. But then I see my siblings, my aunts, my mom, like, their life changed since, I started working in the bank. I'm like, why not for myself? Because I'm busy doing for others. So I'm doing that financial management for others, but I don't do for myself.
That's very interesting.
I've seen how little people have, and they put it in there and they save more. And then that one grows and they put more. And then, before you know it, you have something, you look back. You're sitting here as an artist. I'm quite intrigued. Like, what shaped your decision to think this way?
I mean, like I said, number one thing is you kind of know what you don't want to become. That's one. What your background, at least for me, my background has been a heavy tool in shaping the kind of artist that I am, the kind of brand that I project, and the kind of brand I'm building. I already said earlier, like, I come from a family of entrepreneurs and civil servants. My paternal grandfather was a justice of the Supreme Court. She got all the way to justice, right? My maternal grandfather was a doctor in the army. Both my grandmothers were nurses, they're entrepreneurs. My parents are entrepreneurs. Combination of that is, from that civil servant side, it instills this idea of like, your name is important. Your name holds value. Your name is whether you that in itself is an asset.
That's a brand itself.
Yes. And then the entrepreneur side is like, you got to do for yourself. You have to be able to push through and overcome obstacles to achieve a specific dream and vision you have for yourself. And to do that, you also realize you can't do it alone and have to be somebody that has a good eye for to attract other people that can share your vision. So that kind of thinking and that kind of upbringing, is what, like, it lets me know, is like, I need to be able to take this thing from here to here and then have something to show for it and have my name intact and not lose myself or lose my name in the process of it. I think those kind of things help to keep me grounded and focused, like laser focused. So I would say definitely the background and knowing what I don't want to become. I'm afraid of being look, I came in as a broke artist. I don't want to end as a broke artist. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's meant to go, the dream is for it to go up.
Yeah. So someone once said that we're in it to make profits, and the plan is to buy acres. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, you listen to the music. It's on a song. I had this project called Tap. It's my first ever project, released in 2018. And the first song is called Voices, you know, and the line is, I'm in it for the profit. The plot is to buy acres. You understand? Shane, you understand? Listen, play more rap for you. Yeah, I mean, like, so, I mean, like, that line is, yeah, in it for the profit. The plot is to buy acres. That was a direct statement to the people that told me that, oh, the way you do your music and your style, like, you're not going to earn.
No.
You won't, you're obviously not doing it because you want money. You are rich. You must come from a rich family, because if you wanted money, you would do the music that would. And that to me was like, I had to prove those kind of people wrong.
That this would work, this style.
That there is space for this. And that's why I call myself the leader of the revival, is because there's space for me. I'm reviving the idea. There's space.
For anybody, for
this style of music, there's space, you know. So that line really, I mean, starting to come, how many years later? It's now starting to like turn into reality. Materialize, exactly.
Now, what are you doing to make those profits?
I mean, like, I'm starting to, like, you know, look at the property market, invest in property.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
One of the best investments against inflation is real estate. So that's
why? Because it goes up as well.
Yeah. So as the inflation goes up,
property also goes up.
Property goes up, and then, you know, every time like we're giving birth, people are upcoming. People are always looking for places to live. So that's a stable asset. That's a really good one.
So I need to continue, and I'm on the right track.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
However, you started really high, because most people will start from, you know, the basic like savings accounts, mutual funds, fixed income. I don't know if you've heard of those things.
I mean, I'm starting to hear. Like I said, I want to start working with a financial advisor to open my mind to other types of investments. I've realized that I always had that mentality that, I mean, I don't have enough yet to kind of start doing these things, but I need to change that. This year, I really want to change that and start to create a plan. Just like how I put this effort into my music planning, creating strategy, I want to have an ongoing, active financial strategy.
By the side.
Yes, absolutely. So that whatever money is coming in is being put to work. I think that's one of the things that attracted me to, like, you know, the place I want to buy now, by the way. Yeah. Is that the money in the bank is being put into something.
Yeah, something more.
Not something more.
Yeah. It is amazing to see someone like yourself thinking about investments. So
sure.
Because most people just think like artists, you know, you get money, live fast.
Spend it anyhow.
Intrigued.
But that one day.
That one day, all those people you have to keep up aesthetics. But sure. Then, so Ladipoe, it's like you're financially inclined already. You're doing a lot for the future. Do you think your MBA really helped shape that mindset?
That's a tough question for me, because I felt, when I first did the MBA, I felt like, man, I should have started a business first before doing this, because I feel like it's a bit more impactful on my life. But bit by bit, as things are starting to improve every year with what I'm doing, I see the value of having that, you know, because then first and foremost, I remember when it first started to like actually have an impact was when, you know, the label Jazzy told us to come over, and he was first telling us, this is 2018 or something like that. And he was now telling us about, look, there's this company called Kupanda. There's this company called TPG, and there's going to be an investment. And this is what we've been working on. This is what we've been doing for the past couple of years, trying to set this up. I wasn't lost. Yeah. I knew what he was talking about. I understood exactly. I understood that they were trying to take on investment, and what it meant was probably you're going to have to, you know, relinquish some control, some shares. Yeah. So those things I knew. I was following them, and I remember at the time they were even talking about how, for them, there was a show that they watched. I can't remember. It's called Startup, I think. I think the show is called Startup. Really cool show. It's funny. Yeah, it's really cool. It in the show, even though it's a comedy, it also breaks down what it takes for a startup to go from here to here.
That makes it interesting.
Yeah, so, you know, they had watched that, and that helped their own understanding of it, you know, and it was something that I could follow because of my own like education. So it has played its role and continues to play a role, something that I'm proud of, that I've done. And so like, I can tell my parents that, look, man, you didn't waste your money. You know,
At least something is
yeah, like
going in, and you're using that
it
knowledge.
helps. It helps, and it makes me aware. It makes me, and it's very important because it's like I can't be complacent about financial security because I know better.
Yeah.
As a result, I know better. I can't afford to take it easy, you know. So I think that awareness has been helpful for me.
So Ladipoe, you're very financially.
You say my name, Ladipoe. So
You're
posh.
actually, thank you. You're very financially inclined, but I don't think
A little bit.
there's I think more.
Okay.
But there's so many young artists upcoming in the industry now. I don't think everyone is privileged to have an MBA like you too. So how would you advise them not to, crash and burn?
Like, it's funny. I worked with one of my uncles when I was doing my NYC, and he was always like, "Man, this is your MBA that you're going to go and do, man. I got my MBA on the streets." Pretty much what you're saying is I got my MBA doing the work.
Yeah.
Right. I understood business doing the work. And so I don't think that it gives you necessarily like some kind of edge above everybody else. I do think that the most important thing when you're coming into this game is your mentality and what you want from it.
Yeah.
It's always easy at first. It always usually starts from I want to blow. But one of the things, the biggest advice I give anybody who's on the come up is first decide from yourself what is it you want
to achieve.
What is it you want to achieve?
What's your end goal?
I don't just want to be the most known guy. I want to be able to have been seen to have impacted one of the spaces I'm in, which is the rap space, and I brought it to a place of prominence. I want to be seen as an artist who brought back the idea of substance. Yeah. And as I call my music, I call my fans my lifelines. I also say no punchlines, just lifelines. So it started to become specific things that I knew. By the way. Yeah, do you understand? Yeah. It started to become specific things that I wanted to see myself doing. Aside from I just want to blow. I think that first helps you know the lane.
Be grounded.
And be grounded in something. And if you're fortunate enough, you have the right people around you, which is another big piece. People that have your time. And, you got to get advice. You have to ask questions. You actually have to take it upon yourself to know that one of the things that are issues in the game, in the music space, in the creative space, is earning money and keeping it. Yeah. You actually have to understand, how do artists make money? Where does the money come from? You put out a song, okay, royalties. Okay, what kind of royalties are there? Oh, there's publishing royalties, there's master royalties. Oh, there's gigs. You can do performances and get money from shows. There's advances that the record label might give you. What does that mean? You owe it to yourself to educate yourself.
So know your sources of income and how they are. And then I think, from a summary of what you said, is don't live in the moment. It might not always be like this. Make sure you plan for the future as well.
I mean, it's hard to say that as an artist because you kind of need to live in the moment.
That's why it's so classic.
But there's too much information now for you to go in blind.
Yeah.
You owe it to yourself to understand at least the framework. And then from there, you now start to make better decisions because you actually know. Yeah. And one of the things that I know a lot of artists faced, especially, I was an independent artist. And I started, meaning that I had no record label. It was just me and myself and whoever else would give me their time and energy, And one of the things that artists always think is that, okay, if I get signed to a label, everything is sorted. But you need to know what that means. What it means for somebody to say, here's this money and these resources we'll give to you. It also means that they want to take something back,
It's an investment.
People get confused. They get an advance and they think the advance means. I think that's where a lot of artists lose their way, is not understanding that a lot of times you have to treat it like a loan. And you're going to have to pay it back. So what are you doing to increase your own value so that you're always able to keep earning? So I'll give you an example. When I was signed in 2017, and it was tough. Only rapper on Maven. I had to really carve my own way, carve my own sound.
With your unique Style.
find what it meant to be on what kind of music, who I was, what my artistry was about, what it meant to be on a label, because I thought that I was coasting from there, but I realized that no,
It's hard work.
it's hard work. I used to see like the other senior members of the label like working really hard and applying themselves, you know, and it was like, okay, yeah, cool. There's been, and then things change, you know. 2019, Copana gets involved, you know, we sign another contract. I get an advance. It's the first time I got an advance, and then X amount of millions hit my accounts. The first thing you want to do is go crazy. You know, it's not figuring out to myself, actually, no, I have to treat this as a loan, and be able to utilize this money for the things that will help me take my brand, my profile, my music to the next level. And then put the money towards those things so that I can make this money back.
I think that's the most important thing, actually.
It is not easy to remember that is the most important thing, especially when you have not had and you need a car, you need this, and your mom needs that, and your dad needs that, your girlfriend needs this, you know, or you just want to go outside and flex, you know. So these things are like, just want to go outside and flex, you know. So I think these are really, and also the reason why is because that's all you've seen.
Yeah.
I think one of the things, another aspect of the leader of the vibe is I have to show them another way. You know, one of the reasons that you see young artists displaying in this way is because that's what they know. That's what they've seen on TV. Not even just TV, that's what they've seen that's when they've seen their favorite artists actively be doing.
Yeah. I feel like we don't really see a lot of the behind the scenes, like the hard work that comes in. I mean, even as fans. But then do you think that there's enough financial advice out there, especially for people in the industry? Like when you started, like I know you said you're doing real estate.
You know, the funniest thing, first and foremost, even before answering that question, you said something really interesting. You said there's not a lot of the behind the scenes and the hard work that goes in. Yeah. And that's actually so key, because if there's a nice balance between this is, I'm in the studio to do, like if people get the sense of this is what I've applied to get here. Oh, and as a result, on this particular day, I flexed a bit. I went out to the club to celebrate my wins. Maybe that puts it in better context. Yeah. Because a lot of what you see is you don't see the hard work. You just know that maybe one song did well, and then you now see him seeing the artist, him or her reaping the benefits of it, and then you kind of just only the young artist just says, "I can't wait to do this." Yeah. Not knowing step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 had to be done. A lot of times, you know, it's like small micro steps that lead to you blowing up.
Build up.
Can't get to, you know, blowing up without these small little things. But I to answer your question, I don't think that there's hardly any financial information flying around. It's not often talked about. People don't talk about what they really earn. But to answer your question specifically, I don't think there's enough like financial information, advice on finances in the music industry. It's a topic that nobody ever sat me down to talk to me about it and say, hey, you know what? You might make some money,
but you need to invest.
This is what you need to think about when that money comes in. You know, and also when it's coming in, sometimes really they rush. You understand? And it's like you're just so happy it's there. You don't even know, you didn't have a plan.
And then it comes. But
and the thing about money now, money, Emma already said it.
So money fast to go. Is there anything you think like you could do, I mean, as a collective to try and change that? Because then you have that mentality. It's worked for you. And I'm sure you've seen samples of people earlier when we were having that conversation that you spoke about. Even you as an artist, you're a brand, you're an asset. And then you would like to diversify. You're speaking about how Pharrell is now creative director of Louis Vuitton. Like that's out of music. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be really, you know, the traditional investment, because it might be boring. Yeah. I know people collect handbags, people collect Hermes Birkins. I mean, Drake collects Birkin bags as well.
He's always into something.
Because they increase in value. So it doesn't have to be the plain old boring investment.
I think it starts from really talking about it. What can we do as a collective is to talk about it, is to share. Like some of the times we link up, you know, we do different things for like promo, you know, for a song or artists, we link up, you know, we hang out. We should now start to add this to our conversation and publicly say like, oh man, I've been working, you know, we need to start to introduce these topics and speak to them as candidly as each person can, because some people, you know, you can only share so much. But I think what would be really helpful to artists, some of the basics. what it means if you sign to a label or you have a distribution deal and you're giving some money. What is the best way to spend it? I think that more open conversations and casual ones, not like, oh, everybody come for this conference. But, now that you ask me though, I feel like it's something I can do more of, it's like, hey, I have to think about that though. I have to think about what ways people will be interested in listening to that kind of information. Because like I said, they just want to know how you spent it. Which car did you buy? Yeah, but I also think another thing for me is you hear it in my lyrics.
Yeah.
I will talk about maybe, for instance, now, I'm in it for the profit. The plot is to buy acres. That already tells you what my mindset is.
Real estate.
Yeah, exactly. The first line of the second verse is like, I say a couple 100 million on the penthouse and now I'm broke again. You just a boy needs a Jebu Gary to soak again. And it's like, there's something honest about saying I'm broke.
Yeah.
Whether I'm really broke or not is not the point. It's more about the fact that
the context.
I'm saying I spent. Now I'm going back to work again to be able to, because it's not because I'm on TV doesn't mean that there's a well of money. And just like you're working at your job, I'm working on mine. The only difference is that you see me working.
Yeah.
Or so I think that talking about it in those ways is also important and powerful.
So funny thing is that there's a saying in your industry where it's like you fake it till you make it. You see a lot of people, flexing, balling, splurging all over Instagram, the cars, the handbags. Do you think that's an investment? I mean, like probably an investment in themselves as a brand. Like, what's your view on that?
So you're asking if that's like some kind of like investment strategy.
Yeah.
That's funny. I think that's so funny because in a way you're not wrong. I think in a way you're not wrong. That's a counterintuitive way to look at it. I remember watching a podcast. I can't remember what rapper it was that was on it now. And he was saying how he was talking about his chain. And he was like, thing about the chain is that, because I'm not really, I have my little, my chain. I like gold and all that kind of stuff.
Gold is an investment, by the way.
Of course. That's why I have this gold chain. Trust me. So like I've never been a big chain kind of person. But
the ice,
yes, the ice. And I used to kind of look down on it and be like, what's the security is driving this purchase? But he was like, the chain is like a card. So when you meet me, you say, hi, I'm Hawa, and you give me your card. I'm a trader. So when I read your card, I see your information, and I know who you are. And he's like, I walk into the space, they know my chain, they know what I do.
Oh.
All eyes are on me.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know what I do, they'll ask, who's this guy?
And it sort of adds to their value.
Straight away.
They start pricing from that.
So I can't deny that there's that aspect. And I started to kind of look at it differently. Like, okay, you've worked hard, now there's another kind of set of people that will not buy the one that is fake. And now I'll segue back to the fake it till you make it. But my point is like, there's as an investment strategy, I don't think you're wrong. I think there's something to be said about living a little bit flashy, because that raises your profile as an artist, that draws eyes and attention, and eyes and attention is what you now use to make money, right? Now, the fake it till you make it, like to me, that's personal. That depends on the individual. I would rather earn it, than I rather earn it, know I worked hard for it, and maybe congratulate myself, as opposed to let everybody know I bought a new car. I remember when I bought my car, the guys who shipped it in for me were like, when they found out it was me, because the whole time I never said, they're like, can I do promo and stuff? I'm like, I don't want to announce this. I don't want to, because it's something I'm happy that I did it. It's great.
You can consider
yourself. And I bought this.
What year was that?
This was when I bought my car. When did I buy my car? I think it was 2022, 2023, 2022.
Car prices
are going crazy. Oh my God.
I also got mine in 2020. I'm like, that's one of the best investments I've done.
Because you bought it then.
Yeah, because dollar was 400, below 500 now. It's crazy.
I wanted to buy an SUV. I wanted to buy something that's practical, something that worked for my country. Yeah. I didn't want to, at first I was looking at a couple of Benzes.
Sports car.
I was looking at a Benz. I wanted to get a Benz. And I just thought to myself, like, I want something that, you know, the supply chain for is like the brand has a really extensive supply chain, maintenance is easier locally, and it gets me to where I need to go. And, you know, get that car that looks nice enough but gets me where I need to go and doesn't have too much expense now. So not the Range Rover right now, not the Benz right now.
Land Cruiser?
It's actually a Lexus that I got. Nice. Yeah, but I love Land Cruisers. My car before that was a really old vintage Land Cruiser. So, but really, my point is like the fake it till you make it. High risk strategy, because it's like you don't have it.
It might work, it might not
work. Because if people not think you have it and they come and press you for it, but you don't get like that. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not really good with embarrassment like that. So like, to each his own. Yeah. I recognize it happens in my industry and beyond my industry. In fact, corporate world too. You know, people have that kind of act like they have more than they do. I think that's a riskier strategy. It's not my way, but it definitely exists. I'm not here to knock it.
I mean, you said it earlier, coming from your background, your name was everything.
It's very, very important.
Your name is your brand.
I put it in my lyrics. The only time what was it? When I rock a custom jersey is the only time I ever play with my name, you know, and that to me is real. I said it lyrically, but I wanted to put a real statement out there.
Behind that.
And the fake it till you make a strategy kind of spits in the face of that idea.
Getcha.
Yeah.
So, you know, the music industry has really grown in Nigeria. I mean, there's a lot of Forex coming in. You know, back then, if you weren't performing, you were paid locally, you wouldn't really earn, you know, lots of Forex. But now you have people being paid royalties, people having their music streamed, you know, even people traveling for international shows. There's even a joke saying that, people like Burna Boy are no longer Nigerian artists, like it's international now. So, like, how do you feel like that comes into, is there any awareness of how this could be invested or how this could impact the financial system?
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, like, before I even think about it in that kind of depth, I'm just happy that I'm getting earning foreign currency. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, that's an amazing feeling to come from being a struggling artist, not knowing how people will, how you will make it work, how you will earn, and to get to a point where, you know, a song can do well and you see your music royalties. You might get, you know, you get bookings here, of course, paid locally in Naira, but sometimes you get called to do a show and, you know, you earn in dollars, and it's an amazing feeling. I'm not gonna lie, like, you tell me, like, is that good for Nigeria? I think it's good for Nigeria to have people who are in a creative economy that essentially was largely ignored for many years.
And representing
now, you know, standing on its own 2 feet, and the individuals within it are now able to earn, and then as a result of being able to earn, you know, contribute to the, you know, I have it because I've been putting stuff in my lyrics. They know they hear. That's the problem.
So you guys, you need to actually start listening.
Yes,
to not just the beats.
Listen to the lyrics. Because I have a line on a song called Rap Messiah. I can't remember the line now, but it talks about how I feel like what I do in a small way contributes to my country's GDP.
And do you know, like, I'm sure you've seen how Naira dollar rate is, you know, going up.
Wild.
Dollar is more expensive. Yeah, and then in terms of finances, because it's not enough dollars to support the demand. You know, Nigeria, we can like to travel and spend. So, you know, having that Forex coming in from the music industry as well would really help with the dollar liquidity. So you bring it into the country.
So I bring it in. So if I have dollars and I want to change it here.
Yeah, and then
when they're chasing BDCs everywhere. When they're arresting BDCs. What are we supposed to change our money at?
So the thing is, you can change at the bank.
Okay.
You can change with licensed BDCs. Because
you can change your money at the bank.
Yes, you can. You can change the money at the bank. And we have a feature on our internet banking platform.
But not at the rate that they're really selling.
Actually, at the same rate. Same way, you just sit in the comfort of your house, you go to internet banking, and then you do a USD to Naira conversion.
Stop playing.
I'm serious. Like, and then you don't have to drive out
to
I
bank with GTB.
Ah, nice.
Funny enough.
Yeah.
I bank with GTB Bank. And I like it, you know, I like the app. They have this new app, it's pretty cool. So try to tell me that if I have dollars now,
you can go online on the app, sell it to Naira, yes, and get credited immediately.
Stop playing.
I'm serious. So I think we need to have more, maybe from the bank's perspective, we need to have more awareness and that.
Talk about that loud. Yes. I didn't know you could do that. And like, you know, I actually thought it was like frowned, you don't want to be seem to be spending dollars in Nigeria. That's not great for the economy. That's my perspective. So I just thought that there was this kind of negative
Vibe.
around,
Yeah, so that's in terms of, others, like everywhere has an underground market. So if you come and sell the dollars to the official space, so the reason why it's not like they're chasing the
As we
BDCs.
wrap on this, you're going to show me on that.
I'll show you after this.
Yeah.
I'll definitely show you. So they're just trying to clean up the BDC space because there's a lot of people that don't have the license. They're just doing anyhow on the streets. So they're trying to make it clean.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, you can sell to them and it's official. Everything is transparent because they're trying to cut down a lot of money laundering.
I mean, with that with this information, I think then it is great to have people within a particular sector like the music industry being able to earn more than, being able to earn Forex and being able to convert it to the local currency. And like you said, have that spread around. I mean, then that's great. Once again, yet another thing artists are doing that. You guys are looking at us with small eye. You need to start
looking at.
I think that the creative economy in Nigeria has largely been overlooked, underestimated. I think that now we not only contribute to the GDP of the country in many different ways, but the brand image of Nigeria has improved with the success of the music and the success of films and the success of other aspects of art and culture. And I think that is something that is really unique to this generation of artists and we can be really proud of.
Yeah, I think we need to do more in terms of celebrating that industry.
Yes.
What you bring.
Congratulates. Like they were the artists were nominated for Grammys. Where's the congratulations that, hey, we recognize that this happened. This monumental thing happened. To me, when I look at what I'm trying to build with my own brand, is I've realized that as an artist, if you're lucky enough to be an artist that is known, become a public figure in a sense, you start to wear multiple hats, which you didn't even plan for. You become an artist, sometimes you're an advocate, sometimes you're an ambassador, sometimes you're an influencer, sometimes you're so many hats that you're wearing. So exactly. So to me, I think that for me, I see myself as, like a change agent, through how I carry myself and the things I say, and most importantly, the things I do, I can introduce a new narrative. Yeah. I can update the narrative of
the normal out of the expected.
The shift the stereotype of artists and make it clear that we are actually contributors.
That's very key for all the young ones looking up to you and then thinking like I can do this as well. Yes. You need to have that, that cleaner role model to see those things.
I mean, cleaner. I think once you're trying to focus too much on being prim and proper, you create a brand that I think is unsustainable because we're all messy. Life is messy, and things like that. I think more than anything, I just want to be as real as I can be able to talk about the pitfalls, be able to talk about the successes in a real way, not in a fake way. And so that there's a source of information that they can trust. I always say that when I say, but you knew that on the track, you know that it means that there's quality here. So when I speak, I want to be able to have that be how people take my brand. And I think what we're talking about now is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conversing with you today, you seem to know your onions.
Why do you keep saying these things? I'm learning.
I'd like to know, what are your 3 key financial tips?
Stop playing. This is kind of wow. I'm basic. I'm still in the process of learning.
Yeah, but then with the little you have,
I don't know if this is a financial tip, but you got to read your contracts.
That's key.
You really have to know what you're getting yourself into. It's one thing to, have an idea of, oh, this is what it's like to be in this space. But once they put a contract in front of you, the actual onus is on you to know what it's saying and what your obligations are. And to now say, this works for me or this does not work for me. And be able to, I tell my team one thing. One of the things I'm working hard towards is to be able to say no to opportunities that don't make sense for me and not be motivated by money.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's another financial tip, but it's really it's like to make money, you don't want money to be your sole motivator.
Yeah.
Because it's misleading. and you
Make
can't
good
rely.
money, not the
Yes, exactly. It's
one that would hook you somewhere. It's actually a financial
you know, so
sustainable.
I can't. I tell my team that all the time. Like, let's not shake when we see that number. Let's see how will that work for our goals and what we are. Because if you have a vision, it's easier to stay working in a particular way. So you can't allow making money. Making good money means working hard enough to say no to money. You know. Third thing. Third thing, I think, is the most obvious thing. Like, seek the knowledge, which is what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other way to acquire the knowledge without asking reputable sources and like strong sources and people that have done it before. And then now making my own decision based off that. How do you do it if you don't ask?
You don't ask, yeah.
You know, and I think when it comes to money, no question is stupid or silly.
I mean, everyone is a special person in their own field, you know, so you don't expect to know everything, especially if that's not your industry. So but like we said, like, I don't mind being your financial advisor.
No, let me even ask you. So if you're gonna be my financial advisor, because
definitely,
you know, so if that's
you bank with GT Bank already, so that's a start.
So give me some tips as well.
And so definitely, we discussed, and you do real estate, which is very good. It's a bit on the high risk side. But then it's good for, you know, starters as well, especially in the kind of inflationary environment we are in Nigeria. We have high inflation. But then, have you heard of treasury bills, mutual funds?
I've been starting to learn about them. So, and see if there's something that is worth like putting money into.
So it's just like leaving your money in the bank and then getting paid savings. You know, people don't even know that there's if you put your money in the savings account and you don't withdraw it more than 4 times, the bank pays you savings percentage.
How much? How much? Don't tell me that.
It's currently around 5-6%, but then you can get higher rates from investing.
So if I put my money in my savings account and I don't withdraw it, how many times?
More than 4 times.
In a year?
In a month.
In a month?
Yeah, you get paid an interest at the end of the month. Definitely straight up.
We're gonna, okay, all right.
Yeah, and then we also have different investments. For starters, we have treasury bills, we have mutual funds. I mean, those mutual funds do most of the investigations, the key things for you. So all you have to do is buy in. And currently, we have our GT fund managers who are asset managers, and you can invest in that. It's so easy to open up.
We're going to take this conversation offline. Let's try and make some money, man. I'm here to make some money as well.
Let's try and make money for you while you know you work.
Actually, that's a better way to phrase it. I think that's where I want to be. I want my money to make money for me. You know, for sure. I've worked hard enough for it. Let it go and do his own work as well.
I know. So while you're grinding by the side, let the excess money work for you.
Sounds like you're rapping, girl.
Good to go. I know. An interesting one.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is a Ladipoe song that you know? Like, what's the first song?
I really want to tell you. I think that was one of the best collaborations. You won a Headies for that.
I did, actually.
Yeah, that was really good.
I'm still waiting for my Headies. Headies.
Oh, Headies.
Exactly.
That was a really good one. I love the energy, the vibes. I mean, I had an exam to write in the treasury, and that was my theme song.
Really? I mean, like, and you know, the thing about what you just said is that you never know how people interact with the music.
I know.
I can only be grateful. I'm grateful to Simi, to taking the chance, you know, and the producer. Like, we did something at a time when we literally only put in what we knew with no anticipation with how it would pay off, you know, which is kind of different from finance, where you guys have a lot of projections. Your 1 + 1 equals equal to. Creativity is different because you don't know what your 1 + 1 will equal. It could be negative, it could be 2, it could be 4, it could be 5, 6. If you're lucky, it's 50. You know, so
but that's the beauty about it.
That's the risk, and that's sometimes there's beauty in that. So very interesting space.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. So, you know, Ladipoe, it's an honor to have you here. I mean, it's been so interesting. I didn't even know time was going by. It's been so good to, you know, discuss finance and then learn from your perspective. I was so intrigued to know that, you know, you're financially aware, you're doing this investments and everything. Is there anything that you would want to share with the audience today?
To be honest, you know, I feel like one of the things that has been the nature of my career is what's helped me stay humble is knowing that I've been at the point where there was nothing,
Mm.
where there was nothing to support the vision but the vision.
Mhm.
So you can't scare me, and because of that, I want to do the best I can to retain what it is that I'm acquiring. And I think what I have to say to people really is there's some things you just have to go out and seek for yourself and learn for yourself to put yourself in the best position to win. And I think that's one of the things I've learned about the people who have won is that they surround themselves with the right kind of people.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. That's
So
very
I,
key.
I think if there's anything I want to say out there, is you need to make sure the people around you are aligned with your vision, unless they will detract from your vision. And if financial security is something you want, then you need to start seeking out the people that can give you that advice, that have done it before, done it in a credible way, who have something that they want to say, who also, who want to actually share it with you. A lot of Nigeria is shrouded in mystery.
Mm.
A lot of Nigeria, they won't show you the design. So it's like, I want to be one of those artists that will acquire the knowledge, take the risk, and then share my experience. I think that would allow me to continue to be what I say I am, the leader of the revival.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so interesting. I've learned a lot from you.
Likewise, we have business after this now.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, my new financial advisor.
I just feel like we should do this more often.
For sure, yes, we
Next
should.
week?
Next week, I'm down now. Book
Are
time.
you sure with your busy schedule?
Okay, maybe not next week. We're working on the album now, but more than anything, I'm really happy that you guys are doing this. I think that, I feel like, imagine how, it's the music industry is going in this direction now, but imagine if it's now like combined with financially aware artists.
Yeah, and support from the banks, and maybe we can actually put this country more on the map.
You have stronger
win.
careers.
Yeah,
People able to give back to their country a lot more.
It's a win for you guys in terms of investment. It's a win for the banks and FIs in terms of getting returns and diversifying our income base and customer base as well.
So can only hope for the best and be optimistic.
Yeah. I agree.
But you knew that. You knew that.